The following video is based on my personal experience as a scapegoat survivor. And yes, I prayed before I did this video, so I asked God to give me the words to speak. I hope that you are blessed by what I share in this video. Thanks for being here. They set you up for failure, scapegoat. Today's video is from a Christian perspective, but I'm talking about scapegoat survivor, and I'm going to interchange that word with the broken one. And I want to be very clear, I'm not a licensed psychiatrist or psychologist. This is just from my own life experience and the fact that I pray and I ask God for wisdom before I do any video, especially talking about topics like this. The broken one was broken by a person that they revered, loved, and wanted nothing but their approval. The broken one is targeted many times in a dysfunctional family because of the qualities that this child had and possibly still have. Empathy, concern for others, a ingrained joy about life that comes from God. That's why so many chosen ones and called of God are targeted by a narcissist or a demon-possessed person. And basically a sensitive child. A child that is very aware and attuned to their environment and the feelings of others. An emotionally intelligent child. Gifted in some way. So, this broken one is labeled the scapegoat. And many people talk about when the scapegoat goes out into the world, and they're referring to whether they run away as a teenager or they leave home in their 20s or 30s. Some never leave home because they're so broken. But the broken one, and this is what I want to talk to you about. When you enter into the world, based on my experience, it is not when you leave home. You're entering into the world as a broken one from the time you first have to attend any school, whether it's kindergarten, elementary, whatever form of schooling you get, where you have to interact with the world and you're seen as an individual. People call you by your name and you're not represented by your parents. So from a very early age, the broken one enters into the world and they quickly see that they don't measure up at home, and in many ways that reflects itself back into their public life. Many broken ones could be popular if they were not looking forward to getting home, to being in a situation where they were going to be mistreated. So where they may have a more extroverted nature, the reality of their home life really affects them, and the way they interact with people, the way that they see the world is affected by the way they're raised. And that's why I want to make this video today, because as a scapegoat survivor, and thank God I am nearly 50 years old, I'm still healing. And the reason I'm healing, partly because there's a few things. I've just started to face the reality of the dysfunction and the position I played as a scapegoat, or the least favored or broken one, less than a decade ago. So less than 10 years ago, I started really looking into this. So the majority of my life, I played the game, or I was just trying to avoid the reality that I was a broken person. So all those years of being broken, I was attracting and being attracted to toxic friends, toxic situations, and toxic relationships. I attracted very narcissistic and abusive people because I was broken. I had self-destructive tendencies, and I did things that did not suit my best interest long term because I was broken. And when I sought a relationship with Jesus, I always looked to the church as if that was the answer. Church does dangle Jesus in front of, not all churches, but the majority of them. These denominations and these non-denominations, they dangle Jesus on a string like a carrot, and you chase after Jesus, but it's really the church that you're chasing after. I'm going to make another video going deeper into my opinion on the modern church, and I am in the United States, so I don't know how it is in other countries, but I'll go a little deeper into that in another video. But the brokenness from being the unloved one, from being the broken one, has very long-lasting repercussions. It's not just the childhood that the scapegoat has to get over. It's the people that they meet and the situations that they're attracted to because they're broken. Not take so long. I spent so much time trying to portray myself as someone who was okay. I'm guessing that was for survival reasons. But when you're a broken person from childhood and those things are not addressed, many people, myself included, gravitate towards different things to mask the pain. Whether it's alcohol, drugs, relationships that are abusive, toxic situations, overworking, over-partying. It's a destructive life, and many times, like I said in many videos in the past, when you're broken, there are so many predators out here that prey on the broken people. If a person has a low self-esteem or a low self-worth, or a desire to place others higher on a pedestal than they place themselves, so a person is way up here and the broken person is down here, you're going to attract a lot of narcissists and abusers in that way of thinking. And yes, the Lord Jesus is the way and the solution to the healing. But running to church to try to find Jesus and pedestalizing, putting the church up on a pedestal, rather than just really focusing on your personal relationship with Jesus Christ, that's also another problem. So the healing process takes longer than it would have or could have if a person is masking it with drugs and alcohol, getting involved in abusive relationships, dysfunctional systems that could also be in the form of a church. Because based on my experience, and I'm talking to you from the US, United States, the current church is not the church that God intended. There are too many people abusing what individuals are seeking in church. There are too many people in charge that are abusing that to truly reflect what the Lord Jesus intended the church to be. I'm going to make a video about that in the future. But for now, I'm going to say that your healing takes time, but certain things that we do during our healing journey, including maintaining contact with the dysfunctional family structure, these things prolong the healing. But it's okay if you're not 100% okay. Because not only are you dealing with the healing from the childhood and the teens, but all the other relationships that were formed because you were a broken one. So I just want to encourage you, give it all to the Lord Jesus. Allow Him to heal you. Allow Him to help you to forgive. And it's okay if you're not okay. God's going to take care of everything. God bless you. Bye.